Hi, my name is Cassidy and I have had an ECAD service dog from Connecticut for about 4 years. He's 5 years old. I met him when he was 1.5 and he is amazing. I want to talk about some of the hardest things in general about having a service dog. Some might not be essentially for me, but things that you should consider if you're looking into getting a service dog, because there's much more involved than just having a dog. It's a big thing. So first of all, cost. It is usually very expensive to get a service dog, and the money really is not outrageous for the time they are putting in to get trained, and it is different for all different organizations, but typically it can be expensive. And if you don't have the money for that, or you don't fundraise, or could take a long time to get the money for it, that can be difficult for some people. It also could be a long wait depending on if you need a certain dog that does not shed. I know it's harder to get like poodles and get places that are specific to a breed that you might want or is better for you. They're typically long waits, and that definitely isn't easy, but that is not true for everyone, because I actually did not have a long wait as Sonoma. It was just like perfect timing. That's like all I can say is like I don't know, the universe aligned and bam, we were together, and fantastic. I have a list here. Please feel free to leave some more things in the comments, because I know I'm definitely missing some things, and it's different for everyone. Service dogs love to work, so they need their minds stimulated, and it's not just exercise that they definitely need, daily. So you have to be willing to, if you're like, oh, whatever, like, that's not good. You can't have that kind of attitude if you're gonna have a service dog. You really need to bond with them, and bonding through physical activity, but also different mind games. And it can be hard because people who get service dogs are disabled in some way, physically, mentally, both. But you need to be able to stimulate and have time for that dog. That dog needs to be so important to you, because if you don't do any of that, the dog is going to suffer and you're not going to have a great bond. You can't just ignore the dog and do nothing. Public access issues. I have never once had an issue where people at a store, a restaurant, any public place were like, is that a service dog? Is that a fake service dog? But it does happen. Mostly people ask me if I am training him. I think that's because I'm young, or I look young. And I'm like, oh no, he's my service dog. But public access issues do happen. And also, there's more to just, maybe someone says, is that a fake service dog? Like, you have to know everything and learn a ton of commands and have them ingrained. You need to want it so bad, and keep up with it so your dog isn't misbehaving in a mall and is doing public access well, can go through into an elevator, and isn't regressing because the dog doesn't get out and get to practice anything. Which leads me to, it is a learning curve. You're learning a lot of commands. Most service dogs places, I've seen some kind of team training or something like that, where you're learning basically what the dog already knows, but how you're supposed to say it, and you just have to keep up on that and be stern when you need to be stern, be encouraging when you need to be encouraging. Don't let the dog win. You're in charge, you're the alpha, and you need to keep up with those commands, because if the dog's not doing it, then just like humans, you're gonna forget something. So you gotta keep up with training them and doing all the things that they would in when they were being taught at an organization. Besides that, we have to remember that these are dogs. They are not robots. They're not going to be perfect. Your dog may bark in a store. Your dog might have an issue and smell someone here and might not want to cooperate in a parking lot. It's going to happen. Dogs are not robots. You just need to know how to handle the situation, not get flustered, and how to continue on, how to change this behavior of focusing on something that the dog shouldn't be focusing on. And then if it's a consistent thing, you need to keep training that and figure out a way. Talk to other people, talk to previous trainers, and get your dog some help. They're not robots. They're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are okay, but you have to learn from the mistakes, and you need to be proactive and try to not get your service dog, in a situation that is going to cause issues. Next, public distractions, meaning people, not public, like, oh, a train went by. Yes, that is a distraction too, and it's public. But people can be very interested. People can want to talk to you. People will go up and start talking to your dog. And they often do it in that baby voice of, oh, you're what a cute dog. You have to be able to deal with that and say, I'm sorry, my dog this is a service dog, he's working, please ignore him. It's gonna come up for as long as you have your service dog. You know, people are gonna pet, no petting, it's a service dog. It's educating people that this is a service dog. Oh, we don't pet. Oh, please don't stare at my dog. Please do not distract my dog. Most people mean no harm. Some people might whistle or bark at your dog. I've had that happen in hospitals. You have to be ready for that kind of thing to happen, and hopefully your dog is not going to respond, and you just have to deal with it. And you don't have to be mean unless the person was really being mean, but you need to address the situation. Or sometimes it's best to turn around and just go another way if they're really disruptive. You need to be fully committed, because you're going to have this dog for as long as this dog lives. So that means you need to be up on everything. You need to be grooming them, taking the best care of their health, their teeth, their nails, the vet, good food, all those things. And of course, that is money. So you need to be well invested into this service dog with training them to do new things because they really love to learn, and just being fully committed to having this dog by your side, knowing there's going to be obstacles and it's not going to be perfectly smooth sailing, but over time it gets easier and easier. Your dog should be getting better and better, and you should be getting better and better from more exposure and knowing how to adapt to certain situations better. And overall, last thing is just the overall responsibility of having a dog. You know, you have to let the dog outside to the bathroom if, you know, the dog needs exercise. The dog needs to have playtime. They're not just service animals. They're dogs. They need to play. If it's raining outside and you're not going outside, you gotta figure out something else to do. It's just the responsibility of having a dog and wanting to do what's best for them and doing what's best for them in the long run, because this isn't a short thing. This is a big decision if you decide to get a service dog. I am so happy that I got Sonoma, and he has changed my life. Anything on this list does not even compare to the positive things that I have gotten from Sonoma and from learning about service dogs and canine behavior. But they are very important things to know and to remember, because if you're not willing to go and learn 120 commands and be on top of it, and you wonder why your dog is misbehaving, well, you have to put just as much in as the dog has put in. It's a lot of work, but it is truly worth it in the end.